What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So we got some breaking news right now. The YB's exclusively reporting that AJ has declared that his next fight is being planned for September 20th/21st at Wembley versus the Deontay Wilder versus Zhang winner, or Filip Hrgovic versus Dubois winner. The one who looks the best, Turkey Sheikh Prince Salman Turkey, said to me, I want you to fight him. The one who looks the best. Let's think strategically here. It's got to be Zang or Wilder in it, really. But then again, the flip side is Zang got popped by Parker, so lost his WBO. So Zang's irrelevant. Wilder's irrelevant in terms of belts and mandatories. Hrgovic and Dubois, they ain't got no clout. So it's like, Wilder's got the clout, Zang's got a little bit of clout, Dubois and Hrgovic got no clout, but the winner will have the belt. So it's what do you want? At this point, does the belt matter? Not really from AJ's perspective. Why? Well, the belt only leads you, or the interim championship, whatever it is, only leads you back to a Usyk/Fury fight anyway. And realistically, guess what? Fury and or Usyk would both fight AJ at any given point in time because the coin is the biggest coin. There's no way Usyk turns down an AJ free fight to fight, for example, Hrgovic. Who here think Usyk, unless mandated to, is going to choose to fight Hrgovic over AJ? Never. There's literally close to nobody who Usyk would pick over AJ. So AJ can get either of these fights regardless of needing a belt. Now, if AJ wants to become undisputed, I'm not sure what the process is. Some people are saying, I'm hearing, they might strip after the Fury Usyk won, after there's an official undisputed champion, because they've got a rematch which may last until a year, they're going to strip the winner, which I think is ridiculous. Because look at Canelo. Look at Canelo Carrot Top. He hasn't fought a mandatory in like 10 years. He's got 4 belts. So, and at least the winner of Fury and Usyk will be fighting someone who's top level, you'd have thought. Not as bad as Carrot Top. Carrot Top fighting John Ryder, and I like John Ryder, but come on now, stop. Randoms, he fighting. Carrot Top is not fighting. Benavidez is not fighting. What's the other guy's name? The other Donny. I forgot his name now, but he was half decent as well. The Southpaw dude. I think he's Cuban or something. He ain't fighting him either. We don't know who he's fighting. Oh, tell I. Carrot Top fighting some dude from 150 pounds soaking wet. That's what Carrot Top doing. Do you understand? So I don't understand why Fury and Usyk have their first undisputed fight. It'd be a bit like when Triple G and Canelo fought. I think Triple G only had 3 belts though. But either way, like when that fight happened, you don't strip. Triple G versus Canelo was a huge fight. You don't strip the guy who wins that fight. You let it play out. So yeah, that's corny. But from AJ's perspective, it's almost irrelevant. I guess from a risk point of view, is it smart AJ goes in there with the best looking one? Is it smart he goes in there with a Wilder or a Zang? That's probably, come on now, who do you think is going to look the most dangerous here? Well, listen, Wilder looked like a sack of ass in his last fight, and Zang ain't much better. Zang got the pop though. At least, the thing about Zang is, even if he loses, he pop your cherry for you. Yeah, he lost against Hrgovic, but took Hrgovic's cherry with him. Yeah, he lost Joe Parker, but he been popped that cherry 2 or 3 times. Pumped the cherry. So, Zang doing something. Wilder, the biggest, that's what I told you, man. Wilder, the biggest puncher of all time. He ain't knocked no one out, though. Anyone decent, he lose to Joe Parker. He lose to Fury. All of a sudden, the biggest knockout artist of all time, who's only ever knocked out a 65-year-old Cuban, fact, Luis Ortiz, the man who's known, it's well documented, Luis Ortiz had his best days training above the police station in the Catskills, New York, with Mike Tyson. Luis Ortiz was alongside Joe Egan and a whole bunch of cannon fodder essentially for Mike Tyson and Cus D'Amato's little experiment. That's the truth. Yeah? Luis Ortiz is the definition of long in the tooth, yeah? Long in the tooth, super long, well long in the tooth, toothache in the tooth. You understand? Like the other dude, what's that guy called who beat Rolly? Rolly beat for the belt. The Egyptian cat, the mummified cat. What's his name now? Let's have a look 1 second. Just for reference here. I want to show you the Luis Ortiz and this guy. Rolly Romero versus, what's his name? Barroso. That's the guy there. Look at Barroso. Ismael Barroso old? Oh damn! Stop! This is the Donny, yeah, who Rolly Romero had to get a stoppage, had to get a Floyd Mayweather rigged referee in there to save him from, because Barroso was fixing to be on his ass. This guy is known to be Mayan. He's from the Egypto-Mayan descent. Yeah, it's not well known actually, but if you're involved in historical fact, you'll know that there is links, yeah, between the Egyptians and the Mayans. And this cat here, he's the link. How do you think we know these things now? This cat here, yeah, he combines the two cultures. He was shape-shifting between the two over thousands of years. And, oh, you're talking crap. Well, look at him. Who here think this guy ain't been around for 1,000 years? He look 1,000. If you told me he's 4,000 years old, who gonna say he's a liar? You gonna call me a liar? You're not. You're gonna say, oh damn, yeah, you're right. Yeah, this is the oldest person documented to man, Ismael Barroso, and Luis Ortiz is from the same bloodline. Yeah, Luis Ortiz is Cuban, but he's more from the what would you call it? I'm not sure, but trust me. Luis Ortiz. I mean, let me show you Luis Ortiz, just in case you forgot. Again, I'm trying to draw parallels here. Luis Ortiz, old. It doesn't even come up. That's how old the dude is. Yeah. I mean, come on. Here we go again. This is what I'm talking about, people. This is what I'm talking about. Are you telling me? Stop now. It's pissing me off. The way you man are playing with it, pissing me off. If you're telling me you don't see direct parallels, yeah, of interdimensional time bending cats, this is what this is. Yeah. This man is at least, it's estimated, we have to carbon date Luis Ortiz. You can't look at his birth certificate. We know they've got moody birth certificates. Luis Ortiz has been carbon dated. Yeah, he's knocking into what? Well, he's not as old as the Mayan cat, but he's not far off. Look, stop. Yeah, this man ain't 40 years old. Stop lying to yourself. You know he's not 40. He old. He may be 75, 80 nearly. Do you understand? So again, this lineage here, this is the Egypto-Mayan lineage, of which Barroso is also part of. So again, I've digressed here, but the point is, Wilder ain't knocked no one out who's decent. He ain't knocked no one out who was born in this millennium. And I'm talking about the last 1,000 years as well, between 1000 AD and 2000 AD. Not talking from 2000, you understand? From the last few, in fact, Deontay Wilder's never beat no one who was born in the last few millenniums, do you understand? Yeah, this cat here, Egypto-Mayan, and I believe Luis Ortiz is from the same kind of, look at this, come on. I ain't playing, you tell me. These two cats, yeah, they look like second cousins, one of them. Yeah? So forget about Wilder. Wilder's the bum slayer, the original Alabama bum slayer. Only beat bums. Joe Parker couldn't do nothing. Fury couldn't do nothing. So I think Zang is the cherry popper. And Wilder's chops. Wilder's too light in the back. He's lost his head off the shrooms and the moody toad venom. He ain't got no chops. He's light in the back and no chops. Off the shrooms / moody toad venom. It's a wrap for that guy. Zang, he might be gassy, but Wilder's gas tank ain't all that when he's being pressed by a big dude. And Zang's fast. Zang can box. Yeah? And Zang, he drop everyone, bottom line. He sparko Joe Joyce twice. He popped Joe Parker's cherry a few times, and he popped Hrgovic's cherry for sure. And then Wilder gonna have the same fate. Wilder leaky. Yeah, Wilder leaky. He's super leaky. Boop! Zang gonna pop him right on this bit here, his Eritrean. Deontay Wilder has a pointy Eritrean chops. Yeah? This bit here, his chops, it points out. Now, I'm not a physician. I'm not a physicist, sorry, but if you have a sawn off chops, yeah, it creates less torque around the pivot. Do you understand? If you've got a big long pointy thing and you tap the end, it spin round, leverage, right? That's what Wilder got. That's why he can't take a thing here. Wilder thought he was smart. He tried to hide it with his beard, but oops, the beard ain't gonna do nothing. We still know it's there. The Eritrean infrastructure here, no good. Too pointy. It needs to be sawn off and rounded. Yeah, you can't get no leverage on it. If you got a big chops out here, you tap it there, it goes spinning round. That's what happened to Wilder. Yeah, his block gets spun up. So I think most likely Zhang's going to win this, end up winning these sweepstakes. which from AJ's perspective, what can I say about it from AJ's perspective? I mean, AJ wants the best, he says. Obviously, if I was on AJ's team, I'd be hoping it'd be Wilder, because that fight's a lot bigger, and AJ versus Wilder just has the clout. AJ versus Zang, they don't have the clout. Zang's lost to a few people, Hrgovic. He's lost to Parker, so it's kind of like, what are you fighting Zang for? At least Wilder has got a bit of clout left. So, fingers crossed kind of thing. Wilder smoke Zang. That would be wicked. If Wilder can spark out Zang, but listen, that is the only chance it's got. In fact, let's have a look now. Wilder versus Zang. I haven't thought about that. Versus Zang. Guess what we're going to do now? Odds. That's what we're going to peep real quick right now. I'm proper intrigued on this one. I don't know who's the favourite. I'm going with Zang, big favourite. Yeah, Zang's a big favourite. You put a tenner on Zang, you get 16 quid back. You put a tenner on Wilder, you get 28 quid back. So Zang's a big favourite, or a decent favourite. Would I put money on Zang winning? No. From now on, I'm only taking sure bets. I'm not doing no little gambling no more. And my sure bets this year are Mike Tyson to smoke fake Paul. Absolutely smoke him. And Beterbiev to smoke Dimitri Bivol. And Fury to Samoko Usyk. I'm going to put them into a thing as well, into a compounder. So you probably get like 15x if all three of them come off. Well, we know Beterbiev can win. Beterbiev too big, too strong. We know Fury going to win. He too big, too strong. And we know if it's not rigged, that's the only risk here. If Mike Tyson hasn't been caballed, fake Paul is a wrap for him. Fake Paul can't punch. He can't tangle with Tommy. Tommy can't punch. Tommy's got no chin. How are you going to tangle with Mike? I don't care if he's 58-year-old. He's not moving like he's 58. I'd argue Mike Tyson at 58 is still more explosive than the most explosive heavyweight today. That's how he looks, on the pads at least, right? So, that's the play here, people. Anyway, sport is sport though, yeah? Who here saw Joseph Parker pulling off the Zang and Wilder double? In fact, who here saw Joe Parker pulling off even the single outcomes? I didn't. Yeah? So, the same way I'm pretty confident Zang will win, listen, we've seen it many times recently. Don't mean a lick of nothing, what I believe. Zang is cherry popped. Expeditiously, if that's the way the gods want it. But as a boxing kind of, or the boxing casuals who want AJ versus Wilder, I don't really care. I just want AJ to keep on improving on this momentum he's got now. That's all I really care about. And I do think, I said a while ago, I don't like the fact that AJ's waiting until September. These men ain't fighting until June. Very rarely, did these men fight in June and then fight in September. Come on, people. If you fight in June, I guess actually no. Wilder fought when? Wilder fought in December, wasn't it? Yeah, Wilder fought in December, to be fair. Yeah, Wilder fought in December, so it's been 6 months, and that's my point. These men ain't fighting 3 months later. So if Wilder beats Zang, he ain't jumping back in there, unless it's formidable. If he smokes Zang in like round 2, he may get in there. But if Wilder has a bit of a tricky fight and wins, is he going to get back in the ring with AJ in 2 months later, 3 months later in September? I doubt it. So again, this could easily play out, people, that AJ doesn't end up fighting until the end of the year. Which means he's had 9 months out. 9 months for what? He should be running it in June himself, because he's taken no damage in like a year and a half. No damage against Wallin. No damage against Hellenius. No damage against Ngannou. What are you hanging around for? Stay sharp. The momentum's building. Don't hang around for 9 months waiting for the... Yeah? Who could he fight? Well, AJ could have threw his hat in the mix for the Hrgovic fight straight away. Which he should have done, in my opinion. Because hang around for what? You're red hot right now. You've taken not even one punch from Wallin or Ngannou. So why are you resting up for? Stay sharp. Or at least fight someone like... Well, not at least, but... I don't know, you got a Joe Joyce out there. I think Dillian Whyte. In fact, that's perfect. AJ right now should be fighting in June or July, which would set up then for a December, January big fight against Wilder or Zang or Hrgovic or Dubois. He should be fighting in June, July against Dillian Whyte or Joe Joyce. Yeah? Have some heavy bag practice. Some boxer heavy bag practice. Do you understand? Because Ngannou, he was useless, yeah, but he ain't a boxer. I like to think Joe Joyce and Dillian Whyte will still get smoked by AJ, but they'll give him more to think about. They'll give him some boxing IQ to think about for a few rounds at least, right? That's what AJ needs right now. He's taken out Wallin, who's a complete bum. He's taken out an MMA fighter. He now needs to take out one of the mid-level boxers, Dillian Whyte, Joe Joyce, for example, in my opinion. Go and catch a body. Yeah? Do you see what I'm trying to say here? AJ will take less damage in sparring for the next 9 months until he fights in December than he would do in a Dillian Whyte fight or a Joe Joyce fight. Joe Joyce and Dillian Whyte are too slow. That's the bottom line. Too slow for this AJ here. And they'll be getting pinged everywhere. So I don't understand what his team are doing, sitting around. And why would you even want that? It's not a logical step. It's not a logical step, yeah, to go from sparking at Ngannou and then jumping straight in. Really, AJ's had no intellectual rounds yet whilst he's been popping. AJ's only been back on here for two fights. The Wallin fight, he had no intellectual... Well, there was no intellectual intrigue from his point of view. Yeah? AKA nothing coming back in a smart fashion. Ngannou, the same principle. He didn't have to think about being hit back. Literally. He just stood there, pulled back and winged his right hand. Which is great. But someone like Dillian Whyte or Joe Joyce, they will give you something to think about. Joe Joyce will at least put your jab in your face. And I don't know. I don't know how comfortable I feel. AJ going from... He's clearly got some form back. He's had 2 fights which he's been tested, nothing. There was no test in the Wallin fight, no test in the Ngannou fight. And now, then potentially, he's going to jump in there with a Wilder or a Zang who's dangerous. Yeah? Let's say Zang sparks Wilder out or Wilder sparks Zang out. That man's going to be on form, on popping. Now, all due respect, it don't mean nothing for the next fight, does it? Zang proved that. Zang was red hot against Joe Joyce and then shit the bed against Parker, so it's not consistent, but still. In AJ's position, why not double down right now, man? Go in there and catch a body with Dillian Whyte or Joe Joyce. And also, it's like charity work as well. Like, you put Joe on. Do you know what I mean? Get Joe a pay. Why not? He ain't hurt no one. Get him in there. Maybe. Listen, at one point, I'd have told you Joe would do something. Joe would do nothing, unfortunately. That's the situation we find ourselves in. Joe get pinged everywhere. But it's an orthodox fight. But that last fight I watched of Joe Joyce, it was whack. It looked bad. It was painful to watch. So, yeah. Either way, the good news is Turkey is ensuring the big fights are happening, and that's really all that matters. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%, no doubt about it. Stop it.